Hi everyone and welcome back. In our today's video, I want to show you how to create a GitHub repository and how to manage your repositories using desktop GitHub, and of course how to use your VS Code in again managing your projects. So the first thing you want to do is, if you do not have a GitHub desktop, I have provided the link. Just navigate and download GitHub Desktop. The second thing, create a GitHub repository. There are different ways of creating GitHub repository. Navigate into your GitHub web application, and on the right side you can see we have an icon here. You can start by creating a new repository. It's just direct and straightforward. Another way to create a GitHub repository is by using desktop application. The first thing you do is log in. On the left side, we have an icon where you click and a new repository. You can either clone your already existing repository or create a new repository. So for this video, I want to show you how to create a new repository and how to link your GitHub, that is desktop GitHub and VS Code. So let's create a new repository. I want to call it Raspberry Pico. Raspberry Pi Pico. Description is projects on Pico. We have to initialize readme because that is what we will be using for editing, and this is purely on Python. It's MicroPython. I don't think we have MicroPython, but we have Python definitely. So we select Python. License, can keep it MIT license. Then create repository. After creating repository, publish your repository. So we want to publish this repository. We want to choose if we want to make it private or public. If it's private, it means you're the only person that can view your repository, and if it's public, everyone can view your repository. So after publishing, what we expect that repository to appear in my repositories. Let me get back. So I want to keep it public, so I want to publish it. Just click publish, and it's publishing to main branch. The main branch happens to be Raspberry Pi Pico, which is our repository. All right, so if I try refresh here, you can see we have a new repository, which is Raspberry Pi Pico. The description is projects on Pico. It's just updated just now. The license we chose is MIT. That's the first step. Okay, after creating your repository, what we do next is interlinking your desktop, GitHub desktop with VS Code. So if you can look at this point, we have editing portions. That means you can link your GitHub desktop with various editors, and if you have Visual Studio already installed in your machine, it should show somewhere exactly at this place where to log in into your VS Code. After linking with VS Code, the most interesting part is you can use either Ctrl+Shift+A or just click open in Visual Studio, and it redirects you automatically to the VS Code. I want to show you how to exactly manage your files in VS Code. So for instance, I want us to program our Raspberry Pi Pico and have all the project managed under this repository. The first thing you do, as I explained in the previous video, is bringing the environment here for programming Pico. So let me configure the project. Doesn't take much time. It has configured complete. The configuration has completed. As you can see, we have this Pico wgo here. And another thing you notice, we have also readme. It's here for the for the for the git. So I want to create a file here, correlate test.py, and in my test.py I want to use just a test example, which is in here, copy, paste, save. And if you want to run your code as usual, you can either right click and upload, and then you can run it. So my Pico is blinking, and if you want to stop, you can just stop. So this is not the main aim of this video. The main aim of this video is to show you how you can exactly manage your project in VS Code. Let's say, for instance, you want to add another file under our repository, call it blinky.py. So you want to save this blinky.py, and I want to assume that after you write your code, after writing your code and you sure that that is the code you wanted, what you do is, the first thing, you have to open your terminal, new terminal. After opening your terminal, make sure that the terminal that you're using is not the same terminal that you're using to run your code. You have to come here, new terminal, git add, perfect. Then git commit, added new files. Then I want to do git push. I want to publish this in my repository. So it's done. Let's see if we have anything in our repository. All right, let's open the repository. Yeah, and as you can see, we have something in the repository. We have the files that we added. This is our Raspberry Pi Pico extension that enables you run your code. These are the files that we have created, blinky and test. If you can try open test, this is the file, and that is it. If maybe say you want to edit your readme file, you can as well edit it. Maybe say the first project will be how to blink an LED. Maybe want to create a subtitle. Maybe call it motors. The first thing you do is git add, git commit, added new subtopic, git push. And if you refresh your repository, we expect your readme to update. So here it is. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed how to use your VS Code with GitHub Desktop. Thank you.